and it also makes sense that, you know, we're in a new generation and they're going to want to take one of their best-selling, one of their most impressive games and make sure that it's getting constant renewals. I mean, we've seen success with Skyrim getting released and re-released and GTA 5 getting released and re-released. So why not make a meal out of it? That seems to be a bit of an industry standard. And I definitely think it makes sense that a leak would have happened on the same day that Summer Game Fest is happening. This is just sort of the pitfalls that are potential for to run into when you're running these sorts of shows. And always a bummer, but, you know, gives us good things to talk about happily.
We have to talk about something on this pre-show.
Exactly.
Hello?
I think there should be a rule that you can't remake a game until at least 10 years.
That sounds fair.
It's 9 years, but no, in all seriousness, I mean, Kat, you're right. It was a tail end of the PS3 generation. Yes, it was remastered for PS4, but it makes sense. I mean, you've got more and more people coming into the Sony ecosystem all the time because you know, PS4 was such a huge hit and continuing that momentum with the PS5. And lest we not forget, there is a very high budget, high profile HBO show that we don't know if it's going to adapt the games at all or maybe borrow bits and pieces of them, but it makes perfect sense to remake this for some synergy there. So, I mean, I'm super happy for any younger gamers that may not have been around in not just the end of the PS3 generation, but that PS4 remaster came pretty early in the PS4 generation. So it has been a while since really this game specifically has been in the limelight. I think the first one's better than the second one, so I am happy that people who maybe did not play the first one will get, because it's one of the best games ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you mentioned the TV show, it starts to make a little bit more sense that maybe there's going to be a lot more people that are introduced to that world and are a little curious to maybe want to check out the game. Sony wants it to look as good as possible, right? So I guess that makes a little more sense when you look at it that way.
And certainly of the Sony titles, to Kat's earlier point, absolutely would be Last of Us Remake, and they wouldn't. I don't think that they would pass up the opportunity to showcase God of War or any of their other bigger profile, like newer chapters in some of their franchises.
They just can't hear you. I don't know why. This sucks.
Yeah, God of War, I'd be very surprised if it showed up today. But there's other Sony stuff too. There's Forspoken, which is supposed to be out this year in October. This is a kind of an interesting one. Square Enix, and we've known about it. It's been announced for a while. It was actually supposed to be out already and got delayed. It's another game that I think Square Enix is having a little bit hard time getting people excited.
Okay, let me try something.
Fair?
I think that's fair. Poor Forspoken.
Yeah.
I think that maybe deserves better than it's getting because
hopefully
I kind of like the speed of the combat. The actual terrain looks quite nice, I think, as the character is exploring. I like the concept of the isekai, where the character is coming over from New York into this fantasy world and everything. But at the same time, it's being developed by the team that was formerly working on Final Fantasy 15. And it's a little bit weird because it's being developed by Luminous Productions and its former head, Hajime Tabata, left. So there's a little bit of a vestigial aspect to it. It feels like Square Enix in many ways has moved on. And also, like, there's just not enough to differentiate it in so many ways.
They can hear you now.
The other open world games,
but it's like so fucking
I think
scuffed.
kind of a lot is riding.
Oh my god!
Your mic is literally scuffed. It's like like you just might as well switch back.
Like, excited about this one.
No.
Tina, how's Forspoken sitting with you?
I also feel badly for that game that it's not getting as much attention.
I don't have a mic on. I'm using my phone.
Just from the moments that we've seen of it, and I think it felt like it looked really beautiful at the same time. Like fun and beauty is just such a winning combination. But I don't know. I think it's interesting that it's kind of slipping under people's radar. Maybe there's just too many other big name games out there pulling people's attention.
There's also the Hideo Kojima factor.
So
it's a well-known fact. Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima are BFFs.
I guess I'm not
Kojima showed up at
like that
shows many times over the years. He brought Death Stranding to the Game Awards years before it ended up being released. There's been a couple things recently. There's rumors about Death Stranding 2. Norman Reedus said in an interview they're working on the second one. And now there's also this possible leaked horror game that Kojima is working on, Overdose, starring one of the actresses from Death Stranding in several films. What do we think are the odds that there's some Kojima something here at the awards today, or the Summer Game Fest?
Never count it out.
Always a possibility. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's the number of times that Hideo Kojima hasn't shown up. You count those. How many times has he not been an Achilles
He'll
thing.
at least do a message.
Yeah,
right?
There's going to be
hello overdose announcement. I assume maybe Death Stranding 2 is more likely because it's more of a known factor and it's following up on the franchise. And, you know, Norman Reedus went out there with it, I think it was a month, 2 months ago. So maybe in the interim, they've been planning something perhaps not substantial, maybe no trailer, but maybe a message, as Kat was saying, from Kojima to make it a little bit more of an official confirmation and do the thank yous for, you know, paying attention and please anticipate, you know, our next announcement.
6 minutes to go. Let's
Overdose
go.
is even earlier,
Like this is so dumb.
of a leak ultimately.
Right.
Why?
So I
wish
think based on those
work.
two factors, maybe Death Stranding.
PC is just
likely,
not
but
working.
Either way, it seems
For some reason.
Could be exciting for you. I know you're a big Death
Let me
Stranding
try
fan,
again.
and you like horror games. So
Yes.
either way,
That's true. Either way, I win.
should walk
Truly,
away
yeah. And it's
happy.
interesting about Death Stranding 1 because when I was in the midst of it, I'm like, why am I doing this?
Hello?
This is kind of like just a grind, and I'm not sure what
Can
this
you hear
experience
me now,
is about.
Nuggets?
I'm building a bridge with someone. That's more interesting. And I think in
We can all
retrospect,
hear
when I
you.
really
No,
sat
I
with
think
it, I enjoyed it a lot more.
he said he'd be
It's
right
just
back.
a weird experience for
Of
playing a video
course.
game.
But do you think Death Stranding needs a sequel? I think Kat may be of the mind that it maybe doesn't.
I have kind of defined ending, as I recall.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to spoil
Very
it.
ultimate.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
spoilers here.
But I think that it ended on a good note, and I got the sense that Kojima
Martin's,
Productions in
like,
some ways
not
was ready to
speaking.
move on and
Like,
try
we're-
something
we're-
He
new.
never
And of course, there
does.
have been so many
We're
rumors
in
about
the
Silent
the
Hill
realm,
and
but they're
God
not
knows what else.
speaking.
So,
Edsar's-
yeah, I don't know. Like, it may be
Edsar
that
Outcast.
Kojima's next project is not Death
Hello.
Stranding 2, but that Death
Geoff
Stranding 2 is being
Kinley.
worked on in the background.
I agree.
Yeah, just an evolution
Can
of
you
the Strand
answer?
type of genre. that
Answer
is
what?
brand
The Strand genre.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a continuity or
Yeah.
a prequel or any sense of
Yeah.
that main storyline, but it could just be the mechanics of it and figuring out how to make it even more gamey
6
than
wood.
it was.
Okay.
If
I'll
Soulsborne
give you
can become
6
a
wood.
genre, so
Yeah.
too can
It's got to start
Strand.
somewhere. Exactly.
Speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Okay, we're less than 5 minutes away from Summer Game Fest. Make sure you
Yep,
stick
I'm
around
back.
after the show. We'll be going over all of our thoughts about the big announcements. Ryan,
Why are you back?
Xbox is a partner for the Fest today. Of course, they have their own show on Sunday. Big show with Bethesda. So what might we think they would have in store for us today? I do think we're due for a release date for Hellblade 2.
I'm right with you, and I
Why?
think it's exactly like the situation
But
we
you
were
don't
just talking
deserve
about
it.
with The Last of Us remake.
I
It's
wanna
like,
read your Twitch chat.
That would be here and not at
Wait,
not
you
at Sony's
can't
own
read
thing,
it?
but- Yeah, Hellblade 2.
No, 'cause
it's been
you
at the
banned
Game
me from
Awards
it.
twice. In fact, the two
For no
the
reason.
only
Well, you
times
can't-
we've
you
seen
can't
it
read the
were
chat
was
if
at the
you're
Game
banned.
Awards 2019, and then
No, it said
and then
it
again
takes up
this
the whole
past
chat
year,
and then
we got
says you were
substantial
banned.
like
That's
16
funny.
years
Unable
ago.
to
So,
participate
yeah,
in this
it's-
channel's chat till
that is
moderator
Third
very
time's the
bans you.
charm in terms of
So
getting
go
a
ahead
release
and
date for
unban
that.
No.
We've talked about this on podcasts on
Why?
the weekly Xbox
The
show
jack is
where,
unlocked.
You know, Xbox has had
That's
some
cool.
tough luck with delays. They've had 4 significant exclusives that were scheduled for this year bumped out of this year. Hellblade 2 getting a release date for 2022 could go a long way towards curing the hunger that Xbox fans are feeling for some new exclusives. And yeah, I mean, if any one of them. Any one of the big Microsoft games was going to be at Jeff's show today.
Marcel, I could
versus
literally
Microsoft's
hear
show on Sunday.
the stream coming through your
Hellblade
mic.
seems like the right
that
fit,
sucks.
given that it's been at the Game Awards twice before.
Yeah. I guess the other couple possibilities.
There we
There's
go.
the GoldenEye 007
I fixed
remaster,
it.
which achievements have leaked. Announcement for that seems to be imminent.
No, it's not fixed.
At some point over the next couple days.
There we go. I fixed
and
it.
also, Scorn is supposed to be in October, but doesn't have an exact date.
There's no
So
headphones.
That'd be a nice little release date.
Maybe it'll be like a gross block
gross
of
block,
this
yeah.
show with
That with
Callisto
Callisto
Protocol
and-
and this. Yeah, it's like get all your disgusting game stuff out of the
Disgusting
way.
in a good way.
Exactly, gross, bloody disgusting in a
Yes, I
fun
love
way.
that.
Well, another leak from this week that could be a very real possibility is the Saints Row Boss Factory. Saints Row, the new Saints Row is out in August. The Boss Factory is the character creator that it could be released today. It could be one of those things, and it's available now. Another interesting case, Saints Row having a hard time getting its fan base on board. However, Ryan, we did put up a very positive preview recently.
Yeah, the reaction to this was one of the most downvoted trailers I've ever seen on IGN. Because
Hello?
It was right before
Hello?
YouTube turned off the
Hello?
dislikes, from being publicly visible, and it was not a positive reaction on IGN's channel or on any other channel I saw. But you
Hello?
give people time, and then they showed off a
Okay,
really
now it's
good
working.
slice. Hands off. We haven't played it yet. For the caveat there. But yes, Simon Cardy out of our UK office
it's not
got
working.
to see an extended chunk of gameplay, and that preview went up, and he was very happy with what he saw, and the audience response to that preview was extremely
sucks.
enthusiastic too. So seems like the tide might be turning there, and maybe people just needed a little,
I don't think
a little
I'm
time to sit with
I
this
guess.
reboot. And if Simon's telling us that tonally it's kind of fitting, it's landing somewhere between Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3, which are the two most beloved in the series. I'm a 3 guy myself, and I know you are as well, Damon. But so if it's in that range tonally, and it's got a fun world,
I wish I could pause the
to have
stream,
some
but
hijinks
like
in, and I'm
I
all for
can't.
it. I hope we'll get a chance to play it here very soon.
Yeah. Okay, we have just about a minute until I'm going to hand you over to Jeff Keighley. He's promised to be gentle with you. Any sort of last minute hopes or predictions of anything we hope to see today?
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Elden Ring DLC revealed during this particular show, and I'm really excited to play it because Elden Ring is not just my game
here, right? Oh god, why is it lagging?
Pretty much my game of the generation. So more Elden Ring, please.
Wait.
Right.
Oh my god. Alright, now it's working.
And here we're watching inside an IMAX theater. Welcome to our showcase event.
My bad.
Over the next few hours, we'll give you updates on the games you love, be joined by special developer guests, and yes, have a few surprises along the way too. Now, what I love about this
I should
show
turn off
is it's a true cross-industry
Discord
showcase.
notifications.
Whether you play on Xbox, PC, PlayStation, Switch, or mobile, we'll have games for you. It doesn't matter your platform of choice. We're all here to come together as one community that simply loves the art of amazing video games.
Oh, I'm
the
stupid.
biggest franchises in the industry are here, like
I can't
Call
hear
of
it
Duty.
anymore.
You'll get introduced to exciting new worlds, new teams. And
There we go.
room for
I can
small
hear it. I'm gonna
independent
turn it off on my PC so there's no more notifications.
If we do this right, hopefully you'll discover a few new games to put on your wish list. And even if you don't get every announcement that you desire, let's face it, you're not going to get everything today, but we've got a lot of great stuff. So let's get started. Over 30 years ago, Capcom
Street Fighter
hit
6.
arcades,
Alright.
and ever since, this legendary Japanese fighting game series has continued to evolve. Street Fighter 6 is coming in 2023, and right now, we're excited to officially confirm a character coming to the game and show you the exclusive first gameplay footage. Enjoy.
Cool. I gotta know, that's just cool, I guess.
Let me have some fun. Let's get this mission started.
Oh, Gaio. Everything about this game already leaked, so I don't really care all that much, to be honest.
This will be a good fight. Got you in my sights.
Honestly, I don't know if this is gonna work. I think I'm just gonna watch it off stream. I wanted to try, but like, it's just not working, to be completely honest.
I'm just
Unfortunately. Street Fighter 6 looks good though. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna... It was an attempt. There was an attempt. I'm gonna stop.
Next, it's time for a
Thank you for
brand new game
watching for like
announcement here at
15
Summer Game
minutes.
Fest.
Bye.
This